It's your day, Renee.
I thought it's your day.
I drove yesterday.
Hello?
I mean, I'll drive. I did the whole show sheet. I was like, what is she waiting for?
Happy Tuesday. I'm pretty sure it was your day. Now I'm going to go double check. It was. Crap, it is me. Dang it. Let's start this again. Let's start this again.
It was a mere 24 hours ago. If you don't know, we alternate days driving.
I felt like yesterday was my day. But it's fun because happy Tuesday, guys. Welcome
I'm happy to do it.
Oh my gosh. Wow, I had such a brain fart.
Farting, yeah.
Wow.
It's unlike you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Holy, let me regroup then. Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to PHLY Phillies podcast. We've got Tyler Zulli, Jamie Lynch, myself, Renee Washington. I think I'm here, guys. And also got some exciting news. Dave P., excited that you're the first one in the chat today. I'm excited that we have 15 days until pitchers and catchers report. 14 days until they get on the airplane, which is what I'm counting. And there's a lot of us out here that are counting that because that's when the trip officially starts.
Are you going to get actual excitement knowing that some Phillies, who are probably already mostly Southern of here, because why would you be cold when you're a baseball player? You know what I mean?
I am going to get excited, actually.
When they're driving in their nice cars over to Clearwater or taking a flight from Arizona.
On the 13th in 14 days.
That'll give you a little extra pep in your step
because
that day.
Means that it's happening. Like right now, technically, that's why I said yesterday. It's like when you get at the airport. When you were at the airport, your trip began.
Oh, when I was at the airport for 9 hours? Yeah, that was great.
That's when the trip
it was
started.
torture because I wasn't there yet.
But it started then. It didn't start when you landed in Florida.
You gotta enjoy the journey.
When you started tea time.
Yeah, you gotta enjoy the journey.
Yeah, the journey's part of the trip.
Yeah, except when you get delayed 6 hours and then you're miserable and you rack up a huge bar tab.
Nobody told you to rack up a huge bar tab, JB.
Well, what the hell else are you supposed to do in the airport for 6 hours?
You could read that magazine. Okay.
I did that. I read 2 GQs, I read a baseball magazine, and I read Golf Digest. That's all I got.
If your headphones, they were charged at that point. You can listen to some music. You can play some games on your phone.
I listened to some Jason Stark podcast.
You can do a crossword puzzle or something.
Crossword puzzles, I'll admit, I'm not very good at. I feel like this chair's very small today.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I'm looking.
Yeah, right? I feel really short here. I'm kind of tall.
Oh no, not the chair. Listen, every once in a while, you get the bad chair.
Yeah, I think I got the bad chair.
No, that's better. I was definitely, and I can see it now. We're even.
If I start shrinking, I'm swapping out.
All right, well, listen, we've got 58 days until opening day. March 28th will be here before we know it. We're less than 2 months away, which is very exciting. I also want to give a quick shout out before we actually get into anything baseball because we are not talking baseball yet anyways. So
in 15 days, we'll get to hear that mitt pop.
I had a cool moment, Jamie, and I want to say congratulations to one of my childhood soccer teammates, Shelby, who just had a baby girl.
Nice.
And what makes it even better, she sent me a message that while her and her husband Chuck were in the hospital, she overheard my voice, and I was like, "Wait, is that Renee Washington?" Come to find out, her husband Chuck listens to our show every day. So shout out to you, Chuck. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for your service.
Welcome to being a girl
someone in the
dad.
Military. And yes, congratulations to Chuck and Shelby, one of our listeners of our show that tunes in every day to catch us.
Love it.
I was like, oh, that's such a cool moment.
Shout out, Chuck. You're in for a world of joy, man. Raising little girls is awesome.
Yes.
It really is
I'm
awesome.
so excited for them. So congratulations and thank you.
As my mom was helping out yesterday with the girls, and when I got home, she was leaving, and my youngest Paige, who's 2 years and 3 or 4 months, whatever, she came running up to her and she goes, "Bye-bye, poopy pants." So, you just get stuff like that out of left field every day that just makes you laugh for genuinely 5 minutes.
Yeah. I love, Dave says, Shelby with a happy, healthy baby. Yes. All the love. Yes. It is funny because kids,
they surprise you every day.
As their personalities grow, they will disrespect you so quickly with a straight face and be telling you about yourself.
Oh, yeah. One day, Skylar looked at me as we were going to the pool, and she was like, "Dad, your belly's getting big." And I was like, "God damn, you cut right to the core of me." Yeah, they keep it real.
No
They keep you
hesitation.
laughing.
Yeah.
They'll roast your ass. So
They definitely will.
Strap in, Chuck. Don't take it. Have some thick skin and don't take it too personally.
Definitely will. It's wild, but that could be a whole conversation in itself. Listen,
Oh yeah, we'll start the dad cast here at PHLY one day.
That'd be a great idea. We finally got some news, guys. That's probably why I was also having a brain fart, because I cannot believe what I'm about to say. The Phillies showing some interest. That's a good note. I didn't tell me that was a good note.
Yeah, it was spectacular, Renee. I'm in awe of that note.
I did do it twice because it's not one, but two veteran bullpen arms that have been linked to the Phillies. Definitely time to get excited, guys, because we've heard it come out. Matt Gelb was reporting on it. It's something to be excited about. It's Maton and Jakob Junis.
And this is Scott Lauber's little nugget here from the Philadelphia Inquirer.
Apologies.
Who's the one that has these two.
So this is great news because it's finally something that we can get excited about. Finally something that makes sense for the Phillies.
It makes sense. I'm not excited yet. Not until there's pen
No, what I'm excited about
paper.
is the fact that the Phillies are at least in a conversation because, and I know we're going to get into today, listen, we've got guest that stands. We've got to get into our prospect of the day that we'll be talking about. But we also have to get into all the other news around Major League Baseball because there's been a lot of one-year deals happening and there's a lot of movement going on. And right now the Phillies are sitting on the sideline, but they're getting back in the game with this. So,
yeah, we'll see.
Excited by this news, Jamie. I'll let you read the excerpt by Scott.
Yeah, well, we know Nick Maton, obviously, famously from breaking his hand when his brother Phil got a hit off of him in a pretty much meaningless game for the Houston. Wait, did I say that backwards, Tyler?
You did.
We know Nick from breaking his hand.
Quite a day.
No. Phil broke his hand.
Yeah.
After Nick got the hit.
I'll get there. Coffee's hitting.
You're
you know
close.
what?
You're so
I don't know
close.
what's happening. I think we're
You
both a
got
little
the-
tipsy.
You got the
Phil
two
broke
right
his
players.
hand
It's
after
a good
letting up
start.
a hit to Nick in a meaningless. What was that game, like 162 or something?
Oh man.
It
was
was
like-
it was the end of the year.
It
and the
was an
Phillies
end
had
of the
already
year.
clinched
And
the wild card spot.
Phil ended up missing the entire playoff run in a World Series ring because he suffered a broken hand after allowing a hit to his brother in a meaningless game. And now you might go, that guy's an idiot. There's the competitiveness in there. Sign that guy right now. Like, if he's that pissed letting up a hit to his brother in a meaningless game, imagine how much he cares about an actual playoff run. Now, yes, it was stupid in that he missed his team's playoffs and a chance to pitch in the World
But
Series.
I think that's a great fit for Phillies.
But yeah,
Everything Phillies.
Like, I'm all about that. Get that guy with that fire in his belly in a Phillies uniform. He spent 2 years in Houston. He's 30 years old. Posted a 3.42 ERA across 135 games for the Astros. He missed that playoff run when they beat the Phillies in the World Series. Junis, the other guy, 3.87 ERA in 40 games for the Giants in 2022. He is 31 years old. You know, I much prefer Phil Maton than Junis. Tyler, I know Maton's been on your list as, you know, kind of like a top 5 bullpen arm for you personally. Why don't you tell us what you like about Maton?
Yeah, I mean, the whiff percentage is off the charts, even as he gets a little bit older. He's in the 90th percentile last year. He was his worst of his career was in the 80th percentile. And if you want to get really, really nerdy, go look at this guy's spin rates. It's why I named the headline of today's show Spin Rate, is because this guy is...
Nothing gets you going like a good spin rate.
Perpetually, since he's come into the league, his worst fastball spin rate is 89th percentile. His worst curveball spin rate is 77th. And last year, he was 98 and 99 in those two stats. This guy has good stuff. I think he's still... I'm not so
30's
sure.
right in your prime.
Yeah, I was going to say... and I said, you know, as he's getting older, and he's not old, he's only 30, but like I think he's getting better as he goes along. And I really do believe that this was just a case of the Astros we talked about. They signed Hader, and they might be a little bit cash strapped, and they feel comfortable now with Hader, Abreu, and Presley in the back end of their bullpen, and they're willing to move on from a guy like Maton. But if you look at all of the expected numbers, all of the whiff percentages, the chase rates, he amongst the league leaders in exit velocity. This guy excites me a ton.
All right.
Like if you really want to nerd out on Phil Maton, or on a pitcher, Phil Maton might be the guy to do it.
All right. Well, this is what Scott Lauber has reported. So he wrote that the Phillies are reported to have interest in them. This isn't the first time that we've heard Maton's name mentioned in recent weeks, but it is a new development around Junis. And the Phillies were in touch with Maton, according to multiple sources. Nothing has materialized. They've expressed interest in Jakob, a source said. So with the idea that he'd be a fit more as a multi-inning swingman than a late game option. And as Tyler, you were talking about the numbers that they've posted, definitely impressive for Phil specifically at that ripe age of 30, where you're experienced, you're knowledgeable, you've got an understanding of who you are as a player, you're ready to just be a plug-in piece. A 3.42 ERA and a 4.03 FIP across 135 games for the Astros the last 2 seasons. Then, of course, for the other side, well, the breaking of his hand was huge.
I loved it.
Then for Jakob, a 3.87 ERA and a 3.74 FIP in 40 games for the Giants in 2022. So, I think Phil Maton definitely more of the exciting of the two pieces.
Oh, by far.
Without a doubt. But I just am happy that finally the Phillies are involved with some sort of a move because, as many of us have talked about and as we've mentioned on the show, just want to hear something. Just that you're trying, you're not complacent with this roster, and there's some pieces that you're looking to potentially bring in.
Yeah, my fear in this is that Junis, because he has been like that 6th starter before, might interest them more just because he has that capability of potentially being like that middle relief 6th starter type. But Maton is much more appealing to me for a championship.
Well, and the one thing
team.
with Maton too that I want people to not expect, in case you haven't watched a lot of this guy, he doesn't throw hard.
Yes,
at all. Like,
are we looking 91, 92?
You're looking 90 maybe. His average fastball velocity last year was 89.1.
So he's living and dying by the spin.
And that's the thing. All of his pitches have movement. So and I think that maybe that's why he has a little piece of, there's like a piece of him in my heart. Renee and I were talking about, my left-handed career not happening because I don't throw hard at all. And so these guys that throw junk and continue to succeed have a little special place in my heart.
Well, as you mentioned, Jamie, 21 starts for Junis over the last 2 seasons, and Tyler is throwing his name out there, guys. We had this conversation off the show. He's a free agent. He can be signed. He's available, and he's ready. So if someone's looking
I'll sign for league minimum, too.
Oh, he'll sign it. Basically, I heard he's cheap.
Yeah, league minimum.
He's available, and he's ready to go now, and we can ship you on down to Clearwater with the rest of the team.
Yeah, there's only going to be 2 or 3 spots available, so at most I think they're going to make one move and then, probably promote 2 from within. I read a Gelb story last week where he thinks Weston Wilson's got a shot. A pretty decent shot at one of those 2 or 3 spots. So whatever move they do make, if they do make that move, it's probably going to be singular.
Yeah.
And that's it. Because then you're going to name 2 spots for guys, that are probably out of minor league options that have been in the system for a while. So it looks like this is going to be the final picture of the team, is hopefully that bullpen arm. And then you promote your 2 best from within, and there's your 40, man.
Well, I want to just say hello to everybody that's here really quickly. CMC, Dave, Chris.
Shrinking again.
I was actually going to say that after I said hello to everyone.
Stupid chair. I can feel it just ever so slightly sinking. I guess I'll just let it go at this point. We'll see how low I get.
Should I shrink my chair so we're the same height?
No. It's fine. It is fine.
Oh, man. Yeah, well, hello, everybody. Taff K Yams, which always makes me think of yams every time I see you in the chat.
Not a big yams guy.
I'm like a scoop or 2, and that's about it. I don't want a whole bowl or plate of yams.
Where did yams come from? They're sweet potatoes, right?
They're sweet.
The ground is where they come from.
But where does the sweet potato get called a yam? Who did that?
Should we search it?
Yeah, maybe we should spend the next 45 minutes deep diving why the hell they're called yams. I think that would be interesting.
Why they're bad for you?
Bad for you? I thought they were good for you.
They're not bad for you. Don't let them lie to you.
Too much of them.
When I was a child, I ate so much that my skin
sweet
actually...
potatoes?
Yeah, my skin turned orange.
No, No, it did not.
Yeah, I swear to God.
No, it did not, Willy Wonka.
I got an Oompa Loompa-ish hue to my skin, and I had to go to the hospital. And they were like, he can't eat that many sweet potatoes.
That's not true.
I swear to God, you can call Eileen Lynch right now.
I need to see a picture.
I don't know if she has a picture, but I will.
Wait, really quickly before you get into that, I see you're ready and teed up, and I'm proud of you because you're right on the money. Yams and sweet potatoes apparently are not the same.
What?
Yams have a rough, dark brown skin that's often compared to tree bark. Their flesh is dry and starchy like a regular potato. And sweet potatoes have a smooth, reddish skin, softer flesh, which is a weird word to describe a potato, when they're cooked, and a sweet flavor.
Who's that actor that was into cannibalism? Arnie Hammer?
What? Okay.
He must really love sweet potatoes and all that flesh.
Yeah. See, Kevin at J-Rock, words,
iRock
is saying there's a difference. Yeah, there's a difference. So you must have been eating sweet potatoes when you turn into an Oompa Loompa.
Yes, it was. I was a sweet potato kid, but I thought they were yams.
You should be an Oompa Loompa for Halloween.
Yeah,
again,
you think?
To embrace your childhood memory.
Yeah, they didn't have cell phone cameras back in 1983 or whenever it was that I did that. And now I kind of eat sweet potatoes. So I think I OD'd on sweet potatoes as a youth.
Oh, I've done that.
It's like when you drink something like gin for me, unless it's like super mixed.
It's tequila for me.
Jägermeister, I would throw up on this table just smelling it.
Ugh.
So like I guess I'm that way with sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
And if you want some help in the mortgage market, a natural segue from sweet potatoes and Jägermeister to mortgages, then I highly suggest you check out our friends at Mortgage CS. These guys are awesome. Mortgage CS stands for Mortgage Concierge Service. They're a white glove service. Alec and Ben are the two you're going to deal with. And literally, this is how open and honest they are as a company. Ben is just going to give you his cell phone number. And you might be looking for a mortgage in 2 years, maybe 3 years, maybe 3 months. He'll help you get ready for the process. Their entire goal is to educate and empower you, because I've gone through the mortgage process now twice, and it's a lot of work. It's horrifying. You feel like a fish out of water because you don't know a lot of what's going on. And Alec and Ben want to end that. They want to educate you and empower you and teach you about the process. They're a local company, so they're given full control of the lenders they work with, and they have a ton of great relationships locally and domestically. So they're going to educate, empower you, and help you obtain ultra competitive rates. And not only that, you're going to immediately feel a connection to these two, that you feel as though they got your back and they're going to do what is best for you. So text Ben anytime, 267-391-7425. Hell, send them a picture of Phil or Nick Maton and just say, we need another Maton back in Philadelphia. If you just want to talk sports, the Sixers got blown out last night. Text them. Tobias Harris was sick. He might as well not even have been on the court last night. You can text him about anything. You want to talk Flyers? Just hit him up. Eagles, Clint Hurt, the ideal male body coming in to be the D-line coach.
Ooh, a unit.
That guy is a unit. Well, text Ben and just say, dude, that guy's a unit. But seriously, they're going to have your back. They have exceptional customer service 24 hours a day. They will get back to you right away. Ben is a workaholic, and I say that in the best way because he's going to put that work effort forward for you. And make sure you have that best foot in the mortgage game, which can be confusing and overwhelming. So when you hear the word mortgage, think Mortgage CS. Think of Alec and Ben, and save Ben's telephone number, 267-391-7425. You can email Ben at ben@mortgagecs.com or call, text any time of the day or night. Check out mortgagecs.com/PHLY to get started. This advertisement is not a commitment to lend or extend credit. Mortgage CS is an equal housing opportunity mortgage broker. All loans are subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions may apply. Company NMLS ID number 1464766. Visit mortgagecs.com for more information.
And while we're on the topic of yams and liquor and money, let's also talk about where you can keep track of all that money. And
Yeah,
that's over at Rocket
They might
Money.
see you spending all this money on sweet potatoes when you meant to be spending it on yams, and maybe you're spending it on both, thinking you were getting it. And Rocket will put an end to that, and they're going to go, "What are you doing?"
Would you like to continue this read?
No,
Jake?
you wanna do
yams and
the whole
sweet
read?
potato. Rocket might not. They might know the difference. That's how good they are.
Renee and I can
Yeah,
leave.
so-
You can do the whole show yourself.
So over
As
at
you
Rocket
sink into
Money,
the floor.
they are a personal. I am not.
They know the difference
Rocket
between
Money is a
yams and sweet potatoes.
Please stop. It said help. Rocket Money is a personal finance app that helps save money. And if you want to save money and buy a chair that won't sink, or eat some good yams, or maybe not eat yams because you are tired of turning into an Oompa Loompa, you can keep track of all of that over at Rocket Money. And the great thing about Rocket Money is they allow you to keep track of all of your spending, whether it's subscriptions, it could be any bills, it can be any sort of apps or things that you're paying for. And they also help cancel those unwanted subscriptions. So thankfully, actually, Rocket Money helped me catch something I didn't realize I was paying for. I was paying $36 a month, which is not a lot, but it adds up because it was like 6 or 7 months I had been paying on it. Don't worry, guys. Everything's fine. This is fine. Because thanks to Rocket Money, they caught it, and I was able to get rid of that payment that I didn't even know I was making. So let them help you as well. They've helped save over 5 million users money, an average of $720 a year, with over $500 million in canceled subscriptions. They'll negotiate for you. They'll reach out to those companies for you. They'll make sure you can keep your money spent on the right things that you're looking to buy for. So helping to lower your bills, helping to manage and maintain your funds, monitoring your spending, all positives. And head over to Rocket Money now to stop wasting money on things you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/PHLY. That's rocketmoney.com/PHLY. Again, rocketmoney.com/PHLY. They've saved me money. They could save you money too. And that's a true story. I wish I was telling a lie. That really happened.
$36 a month is a lot.
That's a lot. It's. I know, Jamie. I'm not happy about it because it was like 6 months that I spent $36 a month on, and I didn't get all that money back.
Well, at least you caught
math.
it and you're not going forward with it.
I don't know.
I mean, that's like $200.
I know.
Just down the drain.
I know.
So Rocket Money paid for itself.
I could have used that money for other things.
Yeah.
Shrinking over there. All right, listen.
I'm getting smaller.
I just feel weird about it.
I'm getting smaller.
All right. Oh, what a day. So I shouldn't be driving the show today. I've got the giggles.
Yam talk really brings out the giggles in Renee.
I have no
Somebody
idea.
said you got to boil yams because of the parasites. My mind is blown. My whole life I thought sweet potatoes and yams were the same thing.
All right, moving along because I'm struggling here. All right, so there's some other updates from the Phillies, and this was another one. Jamie, you like this news that the Phillies are holding scouting camp in Japan for anyone who can throw 90-plus miles per hour,
Well,
essentially.
You know, we've talked about during the course of this offseason how historically behind the times the Phillies have been in the Asian markets. They were even late in the Latin American markets compared to a lot of other clubs. And one of the goals of the front office and Sam Fold and Preston Mattingly and Dave Dombrowski was to grow their presence overseas. They've hired more scouts. I keep getting smaller. So there's more scout representation over in the Korean League, the Japanese League, and all that. And this came from a Japanese newspaper article. When I first saw the story, I went, I can't read this. And then I was like, oh my God, Renee's really got the giggles. It's fine. I like shrinking. I want to see how low I can get at this point.
Thank you. I cannot handle. Every time I look over, you're shorter. Thank you so much, Tyler. Dave said I'm driving the show into oncoming traffic.
There we go. Back to my normal height.
Thank goodness. I don't know
if
why.
you
I
notice,
just
the
find it
PHL hoodie logo dropped well below my laptop screen. So that was like a solid 4 inches. What up?
I don't know why, but I found that really funny. All right,
Google
go ahead.
Translate. I translated the newspaper article, and it wasn't a very in-depth newspaper piece.
Okay.
But what it did say is the Phillies are having an open tryout where you can submit applications if you throw 90 miles an hour or harder. And what they're going to do is have this camp/tryout/pitching session in Tokyo once they go through all the applicants. And they're going to go see these guys throw in real life and see if there's...
In real life.
Yeah, not just on the internet, which is fake. They're going to see these guys in real life throw and, maybe streamline their scouting process a little bit over there. It's so different and outside the box for them. I can't help but laud it. I love it. I think it's a great, why not?
Say laud it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I like it because the Phillies obviously have expressed the need to
4
expand.
inches can be solid. You back off. I've lost Renee today.
I am really trying to hold it together, and we have hit 2 of our bullet points on our show sheet today, and we're 30 minutes in. It's fine though. We're gonna cruise through the rest of this. So I like it. The Phillies are thinking outside the box, and with the need to expand, especially falling short on being able to attract a Japanese talent, whether it's Yamamoto or Shoutout. I like it because there's a need to change. So that's all I'm going to say on that. Let's move along.
It's outside the box. I like it.
Let's move along. So Kyle Schwarber, I guess we can mention this today. Kyle Schwarber has broken his own record for strikeouts in a season back-to-back. The question is, if he's got a third record in him. The mark is 215. This is not great, but okay. Do you think, Jamie, this is back-to-back-to-back? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice,
Yeah, I think
shame
he was
on you.
203 his first year in a Phillies uniform. He was 215 last year. If he gets around the 220, I want to say no, he can't, but I think we all know that he can. If he has around 220 strikeouts in a season, that is why, Ryan Howard, not that long ago, used to get roasted for 185 strikeouts. And now we're potentially talking about Schwarber breaking his own record of 215.
Breaking records.
That is pretty wild. So I hope not, but I think he's fully capable of doing it.
I do too. It's not great, and I hope he does not. But I will never say anything is impossible. So let's hope, fingers crossed, Kyle Schwarber does not break that record this season.
Tyler, do you think he'll do it?
So I'm trying to find his strikeout percentage for the last 2 seasons because So what did you say? It was 203 and
215 last year.
So that's probably around.
What does he get in a season? 600 and.
That's what I'm saying. That's
15
probably
at-bats?
around 30-ish%.
Yeah, probably 28 to 30,
math.
something like that.
If he gets up to 35%, and again, I don't know what the I have to try. I'm trying to find this actual number.
Dave P says he will. LOL.
Gosh, that would.
It's hard to fathom 220 strikeouts in a season.
So many strikeouts.
That's pretty rough.
But he's such a mind F because he shows a great ability, obviously, to draw walks, and he clearly knows what he wants to punish and what he doesn't, and he lays off stuff that doesn't basically give him boom or bust potential. But to strike out that much when you have a good understanding of the strike zone and your power zones, it's just such a.
That's the thing.
It's such a mind F.
So it is
he's
an
not like a
increase in
flailing.
percentage. It's around 36% strikeouts, which actually, okay. But it was 34 the season before, percent-wise. Yeah,
34%. Jeez.
Yeah, so 36% of your at-bats, you are striking out.
That's wild.
That's 1 in every 3. Okay, so not great at all, and hopefully it doesn't break that. I know some of you are thinking like Jamie's thinking, that it's possible, but yeah, not good.
Chris MC says if he's moved out of the leadoff spot, he won't break it.
not going to.
I tend to agree with that a little bit.
I agree.
But
he's not getting moved out of the leadoff spot.
What was he, first or second on the team in OBP last year? So
he was 29.9% each of the last 2 seasons strikeout rate.
Consistency.
So 2 years ago he had 669 plate appearances. Last year he had 720.
720. Okay.
So if he is at 720 again, in order for him to break 30%, he would have to theoretically. What do you have last year? 225, you said?
215.
215. He'd have to get to 220.
Yeah.
Is it possible? Sure.
Yeah, of course it is.
Yikes.
But if he's gonna have a 350 OBP and hit 45 home runs,
You take it.
you're gonna take it.
Yeah. but do you have to take it at your leadoff? We'll save that for another day.
Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so in terms of the offseason, as we know, we are 15 days away from the start of pitchers and catchers. The rest of the team reports shortly after. Only 14 days before they fly down.
Which means nothing.
Which means a lot because they'll be flying down.
Tell me when I can hear
because of that, there's been the question of whether or not the Phillies would do anything prior to spring training. We've been seeing other teams that have been much more active in these last 24 hours alone. And seems like they're trying to get those small pieces, those one-year deals. So I know Matt Gelb's piece was talking about how the Phillies plan to attack the rest of the offseason. And in that mentioned, Jamie, as we know, there's a whole bunch of players out there on the market. Rob Thompson was saying last week, a lot of things happen right before spring training. That's why our spring training invites are down, because we know that people are going to fall out of the sky and want to sign some place. People are just falling out of the sky looking for a team. I don't love this approach.
No,
to be honest,
I'd much rather have a plan.
I don't like the wait and see thing of let's wait until everybody else makes their moves and let's just sit back and hope somebody falls into our lap for cheap, instead of being more active when there have been names on the market that were enticing and were good fits. I don't love this whole let's just like wait till somebody just miraculously falls out the sky and everything will be fine.
Yeah, so this Gelb piece was from last week. It was just some reading I hadn't caught up on. So luckily, the Scott Lauber nugget from yesterday was out, where they actually had two players in mind. I think everybody would much prefer that approach to this, what Rob Thompson was saying last week. I don't really want to just like what he's saying is true, because hell, look at Blake Snell, Chapman, Bellinger. These guys are still all on the market, and the calendar's about to turn February. So yesterday there was a little bit of uptick in some signings, which we'll touch on briefly later. But I don't know. I'd rather just go get the guy I believe in rather than wait and see what bargain falls to me. So I hope what Rob was saying isn't what the front office is.
And that's the thing. So we have found ourselves kind of going back and forth, where at times we're like, oh, thank you, John Middleton. Thank you, Dave Dombrowski. Thank you, even Rob, because what you've been doing has been working. When we look at some other teams' inability to spend money, properly and unable to make deals happen. But then on the other side of it, a part of me feels like, wait a minute, are we overthinking this? Is this overanalyzing things here? Because I feel like all of us, whether you're part of the front office, here on the show, out just doing whatever, we all are kind of in agreement for what the Phillies need. This is not a secret. This is not tricky. It's not one of those off seasons where it's like chaos of needing so many different pieces you don't know where to start. I think it's pretty simple to know where to start. I mean, Aaron Nola signing was the first starting piece, and then it felt like, okay, check, number one on the to-do list is done. I thought we were all in agreement on 2, 3, and maybe even a number 4 if needed for next priorities. So I don't know why there's the need to wait, because just go get the guy.
I think we'd all agree. Phil Maton is fine. What's Phil Maton going to cost you? Nothing. Nothing.
And so that's where we have found ourselves on this show, and Robert Stevenson jumps to mind as one, where we're talking about a name.
Was that $11 million?
We're talking about a name. Talking about a name. Hector Neris signed for $9 million. Talking about a name. And then 24 hours later, they're signed with another team.
Yeah, Maton made 2.5 last year with Houston.
What are you waiting for?
So,
you know that movie? What are you waiting for? Tyler? What are you waiting for?
No.
Wow, that's an iconic line, Jamie. How do you not know that?
Well, let's hear what movie it is first.
Scary movie. Do you remember the scary?
I get what you mean by iconic, but
what are you waiting for?
No, I would have never
I feel
gotten
like people would know that movie. I'm surprised at you guys.
Yeah, I don't know how many people I've met that quote scary movie, Renee.
Take my strong hand.
That was I liked when he mixed the mashed potatoes.
That's such a waste of good food. That was gross. Yeah, that was gross.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just go get Phil Maton. Pay him $3 million and get him in here. Stop waiting for somebody to fall to you.
It's going to be more than that.
Okay, 5.
It should be less than 9.
I think the market's been weirdly
7,
skewed
8.
because I think that again, we talked about it yesterday. Neris getting less than Robertson is weird to me. So I don't know what the market looks like.
It's probably going to be $7-8 million for Phil Maton.
For example, Adam Ottavino opted out of his $6.5 million player option with the Mets a couple weeks ago, and then just signed with the Mets for $4.5 million. What I don't know what to tell you about the bullpen market.
I don't know
this offseason. It baffles me.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to look at his spot track market value. It says calculated market value is roughly just over 4. So give the man 5 and call it a day.
Even that seems low to me.
Well, if that's what the market's indicating, don't overpay.
I mean, it's not my money.
Yeah.
I just want another bullpen arm in here.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. Fingers crossed we won't get news that Phil Maton's been signed somewhere else outside the Phillies. Fingers crossed the signing will be with the Phillies. Who knows? Okay, so also some exciting things that we saw. I know you want to give a thank you to John Middleton.
Yeah, for not being cheap. I really appreciate that because this was, I think it was The Athletic yesterday. They had like a little roundtable video I was watching. And basically a lot of owners around baseball aren't making moves because of the uncertainty with regional sports networks and Bally Sports. And, you know, I know that affected like Seattle and Oakland and Minnesota and a bunch of other clubs. Luckily, the Phillies have their, you know, regional sports network contract taken care of and done. But like a lot of these owners aren't making moves because they're claiming the uncertainty of the television deals that they haven't finalized or shored up yet. And while there is truth to that, and I do like kind of sympathize a little bit, like they're still going to be fine. So to use it as an excuse to not spend is just like, that's got to be pretty deflating to be in one of those markets. And I just think John Middleton would never let that happen. Like, I think he's too competitive of a baseball owner to ever let that happen. And, you know, one of the things we're doing is Philly's perspective, you know, like Free Herb and like talking to some people in these other markets where it's like they're down bad. And we think we're down bad and we're not. We're actually in a great spot. So it was just like I was watching this discussion and I just went like, thank you, John Middleton, for not being cheap. Like, from where the Phillies were in the year 2000 to where they are now is so night and day in a world of difference. It's just nice to remember that we don't have a cheap owner because ownership is key.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's nice that our problems are nowhere near the level that they used to be. You know, the problems that we have now are much simpler, much less scary and major and not as bad. So, yeah, every once in a while we have those moments of perspective. And yes, guys, that also was quoted in The Incredibles. I do remember that scene as well. So it's a twofer, and you guys got neither of them.
I like The Incredibles.
That's a great movie.
It is.
Also, something great that we saw. Look at Bryson Stott paying it forward. Just like Bryce Harper took him under his wing, the Vegas boys have added another in Justin Crawford. Now, we haven't had a chance to deep dive into Justin Crawford yet on our Down on the Farm.
Well, that's because he's a top fiver.
We will get there. Don't you worry. Don't you know. But
Fargo.
That's not the movie. Bobby's World is what I was going with.
Have you seen Fargo? Come on, Renee.
Okay, mister, I don't know scary movie.
I mean, I've seen Scary Movie. You got to see Fargo.
I don't even know if I've seen Fargo, actually.
Oh, my God. It's a classic.
I'll Google it later.
They do the don't you know? Like the North Dakota, Minnesota accent.
That
the... Don't you know?
Okay, and the point of what I'm trying to say...
He was putting the wood chipper, don't you know?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I have. I didn't know that's what it's called. I didn't know that's what it's... my apologies, mea culpa. Didn't know
Put it on your list.
Called.
I've seen it. I've seen it.
I've seen it.
Okay.
Because that's, as you were explaining it, I recognized. Right. Real recognize real. So Justin Crawford, who did go... Tyler's like, what did I sign up for here?
I'm not going to say anything about Fargo because...
You don't like Fargo?
I thought it was terrible.
But
the movie?
Probably why that's why I don't remember it.
What?
I thought it was terrible.
What's his name is not a great
terrible.
Actor.
Who?
The lead guy. The main guy.
Steve Buscemi in The Nihilist?
Not a fan. Don't you know?
What?
So Justin Crawford.
Who do I work with?
I don't
Chat,
know.
back me up here.
No, the chat backs up enough.
Steve Buscemi was great, CMC says. Francis McDormand was awesome, Chris said. The Nihilist from The Big Lebowski is the other killer. Oh, man.
Nah.
Man.
Fargo is not like a top, like
It's not a what?
not a top movie. Like I think of, and I was just
didn't it
having
win
this
Best
conversation. I don't care what it won. That's blasphemy. I don't care what Oscars, Grammys, Best Picture, any other awards, because it's all, as we know, there's a lot of things rigged in this world, and I'm not
Frances
believing
McDormand won Best Actress in a leading
Bobby's
role.
World was the cartoon, guys.
Academy Award for
Bobby's
writing,
World? But you
original
guys know Fargo
screenplay.
as a
It was a major movie.
Jamie for president
was
over
boring.
this. Oh my gosh!
Like, what? Who do I work with?
It was boring.
I don't know.
It's a Coen Brothers.
No,
The Coen Brothers, when they
like
put on their
William Macy
pants, they just
from
make hits.
Shameless.
They put on the pants the same way we do. They just make great movies every time they do it.
I just don't think it was that great.
You guys are crazy.
I mean, no. Okay.
William H. Macy? Like, what
I
a
like
cast.
William H. because he was fantastic in Shameless.
God. Critics' Choice for Best Picture?
That doesn't mean anything to me. You're the Rotten Tomatoes Best Picture guy. I don't care about that. I didn't like it so much that you had to remind me of even what it was. It wasn't even a movie that came to mind.
Oh, my God.
All right, what I'm trying to say is,
Help me, Jack.
Thank you, K_Red, because you remember Bobby's World. That was
I remember
great.
Bobby's World. It was great. But,
Don't you know it was the iconic line from Bobby's World? That and the fact he rode around on a tricycle.
well,
Like,
it's no Fargo.
Oh, okay. All right. So
They have some great movies. It's
what
just
I'm trying to say, Justin Crawford. All this started because I hit you with a line, don't you know? Justin Crawford was working out with Bryson Stott in Vegas. Justin Crawford, although born in Arizona in Phoenix, did go to high school at Bishop Gorman High School in Vegas as well. So the Vegas boys are growing. I like the whole pay it forward mentality and help out Justin Crawford. I think it's great. And I enjoy seeing that, Jamie, much more than I enjoy seeing Fargo.
No, I'm a sucker for this stuff. Anytime I see, it's weird to call Bryson Stott a vet at this point, but like he's teetering on being a vet. I think after this year, you can call him a vet. But I always like to see, the elder statesman take the young pup under his wing.
Take a nice 20-year-old.
I saw a funny tweet, and because Justin Crawford isn't in the right batter's box, he's got his lefty stance, but he's standing in the left batter's box if you're looking out at the field. And somebody quote tweeted it and was like, "Oh man, the Phillies farm system really is screwed. This kid's not even standing in the right batter's box." But yeah, you always love to see that stuff. And look, with Bryce Harper, Bryson Stott, if Crawford can live up and become one of these Vegas boys, we might have a Vegas pipeline in the Phillies farm system here. So, Justin Crawford's an exciting one in the system, and he's working out with Bryson Stott. No bad things can come of that.
Indeed. I think I just went down a rabbit hole, and I'm gonna try not to bring it to the show, but I'm gonna bring it to the show.
I think people enjoy our rabbit holes more than January 30th Philly stuff.
So as I'm looking at more and more of the Coen brothers movies,
Yeah, they're amazing.
I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
they're amazing. Listen,
Like Burn After Reading, I enjoyed.
That was funny.
Bad Santa.
Anton
Hail Caesar.
Anton Chigurh may be one of the greatest villains
Yes.
in cinema history. No Country for Old Men is an amazing movie.
I just don't think.
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou?
Brother, Where Out There is a great movie too.
Awesome. Inside Llewyn Davis is great. The Big Lebowski. Do I need
Great
to say
movie.
anything else?
So I'm not disagreeing with you, Jamie, that they make good movies. I'm disagreeing with you that I think Fargo stinks.
Oh, well, you guys are just crazy. Miller's Crossing was awesome.
It's just not doing it for me.
Oh, Renee.
And I'm a big movie person, but you always make me feel like I'm not, because we just have such different taste in movies.
Just a bit.
But I can also acknowledge the fact that maybe, just maybe, my upbringing in movies was slightly different than yours.
Well, I like Scary Movie. I didn't put down your movie.
No, but I've noticed we don't like a lot of the same movies. That's okay.
Yeah, I
We're gonna
like
have to-
classics.
So do I. We just have different definitions of classics. So
What was the one movie you named as a classic?
don't say Ghost Rider, because that's not what I said. I didn't say it was a class. I wouldn't watch it again. See, I don't watch movies over and over again. I don't memorize lines, but there are a few movies that are in that category of classics where I will sit down and watch that movie time and time again. I was just watching Troy. I would watch 300. I would watch The Best Man, which you guys don't know, with Terrence Howard and
He lives in
Mars
Bluebell.
Chestnut and Neil Long. I would rewatch. There's a lot of movies I'd rewatch, but not your movies.
Ghost Rider. I wouldn't even
I
give.
wouldn't rewatch Ghost Rider. I saw it once. That was enough. That's where that stays. It's in the one and done category. All right. I think we should probably move along.
What?
So let's get. I knew this was going to be a wild show. I didn't say Fast and Furious was I actually was not a huge Fast and Furious fan like everybody else.
Somebody said Bad Santa's not Coen Brothers, and
It is. It's listed.
It came up listed under the Google search, but
I'm not
they
fighting
must
with
be tied to
Google.
him in some way. They're not a writer, or maybe they produced it. I don't know.
Tarantino. Oh, I cannot call myself a movie person and say the Coen Brothers.
Have you
It's an
seen
all-time great.
Tarantino movies?
Yes, I'm not.
Okay.
Or where are you on Tarantino movies?
I love them.
I like them too.
They're pretty much all good.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really. I think there was one that I was kind of like, all right, you're pushing it here. Let me just look up the list really quickly.
I love. I was talking about it with my buddies this weekend. Once Upon
Inglourious Bastards, such a good movie.
they're
such
all
a good movie.
I mean, Jackie Brown, Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction,
Kill Bill.
Django Unchained was awesome. I didn't see
That's what I didn't like.
Really?
I wasn't a big Django Unchained fan.
I loved
didn't
it.
like it. It was too much. It was the way that they, in fact, it was just on like yesterday, and I turned from it.
Me and my buddies were talking
Nope.
about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Have you seen it? Mm-hmm. I want to rewatch that because that was really good. And Kill Bills were just phenomenal.
Yeah,
So,
it was Django.
Tarantino's
I
a
knew
big-
there was one movie that I didn't like of his.
I would
it's
say
Django Unchained.
Tarantino ahead of Coen Brothers slightly.
I would definitely say
that's
that.
That's a good.
For sure.
That's a good
I'll
race.
take that.
Yeah.
I will. Listen, one day we're going to just actively lock all the way in and have like a movie discussion. Probably before the season starts.
A top 10 movie list?
Yeah, because y'all movies are a little bit different
All
than my
right,
movies.
we got to put that on. We got to jot that one down. We'll do Renee's top 10 movies of all time and my top 10 movies.
Yeah, and our top 10 's
Now,
gonna
are
be
and
you
Tyler's,
saying-
and we'll.
Are you saying the 10 best movies or your
Your
10
like
favorite.
my
favorite?
favorite
Your
movies.
Because
favorite.
like you could have a favorite movie
Sure.
that's not a good movie.
Billy
It's like-
Madison is one of my favorite
right,
movies.
that's
I
a
love
great
that Billy
example.
Madison.
It's,
That's the
like
dumbest fucking
objectively,
thing.
it's a stupid movie, but it's
The
so much fun.
dumbest.
But all of, like Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison and all that.
Anything made by the Happy Madison Company for like
Yeah,
a
like-
decade
so dumb.
stretch
It's awesome
is
stuff.
awful. Is like
So-
terrible, like quote cinema. But you love
personal
it.
favorites, not like
Yeah, we
Okay.
need to have this
artistically
con-
the best.
It's clearly-
Yeah, so you're saying we're not
clearly
going
trying to have
Citizen
this-
Kane.
No, God, that movie sucked.
We
Can
clearly
I
need
say
to
that
have
on the
this.
internet? Is that allowed? Citizen Kane sucked.
Canceled.
What was the name of the wagon? Rosebud.
No, I'm moving on. We're having this conversation.
Have you seen Citizen Kane? You have to watch Citizen Kane. It's so good. This
go,
cinematography was so ahead of its time, Renee. You gotta watch Citizen Kane.
You know who you sound like?
Who?
Tyler. Who do you sound like?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know who you're going
I was
for.
counting on you.
I don't know who
You
you're going
sounded
for
like
here.
Patrick with a little bit of Squidward in there.
Oh, God, another. We should start like our next
A
counter will be
SpongeBob
how many
counter.
days without a SpongeBob reference that
Well,
Jamie doesn't get.
Stop saying things that remind me of SpongeBob. You just
Citizen Kane, it's so good.
right? It's you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Adam Sandler did not. I like all of Adam Sandler's movies. I've not seen a movie
But they're
with
the
Adam
dumbest.
Sandler.
That's what the beauty of it.
And they're similar, but they're great. All right, let's get down on the farm because time isn't ticking, and by no surprise, we're not moving too quickly on this show sheet.
That's fine. Let's
we
just
do
get
have
to
some
down on the
Phillies
farm.
trivia to do as well.
Oh, I forgot it's Thursday.
I did not. That's the only thing
Or
I've been
Tuesday.
looking forward to. It is
Tuesday.
It's Trivia Tuesday. All right, let's learn about Alex McFarlane. He's number 9 on our list. We're cracking into our top 10. We're
Yeah.
going deep down. Now, he was born, so jealous of this, born in St. Thomas. That's all I need to say.
So was Tim Duncan.
Yeah, that's all I need to say.
So great athletes come from the
actually,
U.S. Virgin
I
Islands.
have family that lives in St. Thomas. They moved there. They're not originally from there.
That
and-
must not suck.
Nope, and we visited them, and I would love to go back. Now, before we get into anything, Jamie, I know you well enough to know
The name test. It's got to start there.
Does he pass? Hit us with the announcer sound first.
Now pitching for the Phillies, right-handed pitcher Alex McFarlane.
I was thinking the Arlen also.
Yeah.
I think the
I
Arlen.
think it's If I had to give it a grade in terms of a ball player, I'd give it a B. I can't rule him out. I think he's got a shot. I think it sounds a little bit like a ball player. It's not the worst, not the best. I'd give him a solid B. So this kid's got a shot based on the name alone.
I think I would nickname him like Alex Mickey McFarlane.
That would be terrible.
Wait, what?
Why would you call him Alex Mickey McFarlane?
Because his last name's McFarlane.
But then you don't say...
You call him like Mickey McFarlane.
No. I'm out. Yo-Ro's better than that.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm out. Mickey McFarlane. You can't take somebody seriously named Mickey. You're supposed to be intimidated by Mickey? I love Mickey Durkin.
I was going to say, geez, Mickey's coming for your name.
But if Mickey Durkin stood on the mound, I go, I'm taking this guy yard. You can't have a ball player named Mickey. Mickey Mantle, I guess, is pretty good, but whatever. He's a once in a generation.
Hit him with the announcement test.
With Mickey Durkin?
With just Mickey.
Now pitching for the Phillies, Mickey McFarlane. Actually, maybe.
Okay.
All right. Maybe it's not. Maybe Yo-Ro is worse.
Oh no, you didn't put it through the test. Mickey McFarlane sounds like okay. This
all
guy,
right, I'm coming around. Maybe I was too harsh.
He might be serving me chicken nuggets. He might be serving me home runs. I don't know.
Well, with this kid's control, he might be.
Yeah. So he was drafted in 2022. In the fourth round,
Mickey says anything Mickey sounds perfect.
Exactly,
Love
Mickey.
you, Mickey Durkin.
122nd overall pick from out of Miami. This man's been in some great spots. Now, at just a very young age of in his early 20s, Mickey McFarlane has had quite a unique path to the pros. And some of his numbers at 22 years old stands at 6'4", 215. Jamie, I know you like that body frame.
That's a good frame.
Yeah, I know you're all about it. And wow, that is really tough to see.
He must work out.
In 2020...
Do you know that one?
Don't do that to me. I'm trying to read. Thank you, Tyler.
Come on,
you read my mind.
You want to talk about an iconic one.
I'm just trying to read.
Tyler,
Jamie. I'm
he
just
must
trying
work
to get
out.
through. In 2023, he had 16 starts, single A, 50.1 innings pitched, 5.72 ERA, 1.67 WHIP. He's got a 29.6% strikeout rate in 2023. His slider is his best pitch. He also had Tommy John surgery and is out for 2024. Face check, he looks like a baller to me. Love the freckles. He's a cute little guy. I think Alex Mickey McFarlane passes the name. The name test and the face test. Jamie, what about you? What are you thinking about this youngster?
So if you like high upside, if you can rein a kid in, I think much like Baker the other day, who I missed last Friday, like the scouts say the stuff that comes out of his hand is spectacular. Mm-hmm. It doesn't translate to results. ... Yet? Question mark. This is absolutely a kid you take a shot on and hope you can unlock something within him. We'll get to the specifics of his pitches in a minute. His slider is absolutely filthy. He throws fast. He was selected in the, I believe, 25th round by the Cardinals out of high school.
Indeed.
Decided to forego that, went to Miami. It paid off for him as the Phillies took him in the 4th round just a year later. Miami started him as a starting rotation pitcher, realized how bad his command and walk rate was, and dropped him back to the bullpen. He was ranked 186th overall coming out of high school. On the season, all right, so scouting grades. The fastball is a 60 on the 20 to 80 scale that scouts use. The slider is also a 60. And to be just a low A pitcher and have 60 marks there is really, really good. His changeups is a 40. His control, and this is where it's problematic, is a 30. Yikes. So on the year, he posted a 4 ERA over 45 innings with 68 strikeouts, which is a 34% K rate, and a 10.1% walk rate, which isn't the worst in the world, certainly not great. He can hit 95, 96 with his fastball. It has some movement on it. He's been clocked as high as 99 miles an hour. And he has a wipeout slider and swing and miss changeup, both in the mid-80s, which are plus grades when they're both on. Now, his numbers in year In Clearwater last year, kind of back up exactly what the scouts are saying. His strikeouts per 9 is phenomenal at 12.3. His walks per 9 was 6.7. His whip was 1.6, which is pretty brutal. His ERA was 5.72. So to put this in perspective of how nasty his slider is, Orion, when he was in the minors, his sweeper slider, whatever you want to call it, had a K rate of 52%. This kid's slider has a K rate of 56%. So now Orion threw a lot more strikes. So when you look at the the CSW rate, which is basically like hittable pitches that you're making somebody miss on as opposed to just swing and miss stuff, Orion had a much higher SW rate because he threw them for strikes. McFarlane throws a lot of these for balls so guys can, lay off if they're disciplined at the plate. So he's got filth. He just can't consistently throw for strikes yet. Hopefully this is something Caleb Cotham at the end of this year, since he's not pitching this year, they can unlock and get better with, because the stuff is there. Mm-hmm. And, you always take shots because you have so many players in your organization. You always take a shot on a kid like this that's 6'4", that can throw up to 99, that has that nasty of a slider. You just hope the Phillies can develop him. And when people always talk about player development, he is the example of why you're trying to develop somebody, because he's got the stuff. It just hasn't translated to in-game success yet.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I like Al.
Oh, we're going Al Mickey McFarlane now?
I was trying to say that with a straight face. I don't know. I'm trying to see what sticks. That's how you gotta speak it out there and see what sticks and lands. Al has a lot of potential. That's the key that we've always
Huge
heard.
potential.
But for Mickey, one of the things that's interesting.
We're just gonna go with it.
Just going to keep bouncing back and forth between nicknames. Now, there are just 15 players in Major League Baseball history that were born in the Virgin Islands.
15?
15. 1-5, as in 15 days until pitchers and catchers report, as in 15 babies that were born in the Virgin Islands that ended up in Major League Baseball. Do you have the names of the
players?
I do not, but we could probably find that.
Is there any famous
Mickey
one?
is determined, as Preston Mattingly has said, to try to open more opportunities for children and on the islands to have players to look up to. And also, the Phillies do see some untapped potential there. So as you mentioned, there's a lot of things that he's got. He's raw, but he has already been making strides. They've reported, even in his time with the Phillies camp, they've seen a lot of improvement. They've been helping him to repeat his mechanics, which has been a challenge at time, as we talked about, because he throws out of a lower slot. His biggest focus has been his command, and he talked a lot about Al spoke a lot about just trying to get used to his body, making sure he's got good body control when he's on the mound to give him the best command possible, and that he's really trying to make sure he's got pitches in the zone, because he's got the stuff to strike people out, but doesn't want to fall behind in the count, because obviously that's not going to work out.
Yeah,
and
some of that's just confidence.
Mattingly has spoken highly just about his improvement, which is great to hear. The two-seamer has horizontal movement. He also has a slider and a split change that kind of mirrors the track of his fastball from a movement standpoint. The slider is sharp too. The sheer velocity, 95 to 97. So I like the upswing. I like the fact that he is, at 22 years old, making strides, but then he has a Tommy John surgery, and he's out for 2024. So, I know that's not the end-all, be-all, because we see plenty of players that respond well from that, but it still stinks, because that means it's a whole year that you have had that growth, and now that time of recovery is going to be just setting you back. So I'm rooting for you, Al, a.k.a. Mickey, a.k.a. Alex McFarlane.
Tyler, I know you were watching some highlights. Your thoughts after watching McFarlane pitch a little bit.
Yeah, so we talked about Andrew Baker last week, and I ripped into the kid because the stuff is there, but the command is like, throwing darts blindly backwards with your opposite hand.
I wouldn't be very good at that.
With this kid, I think the difference to me is the relative age, and I know it's not a significant difference. I believe it's only 2 years, but you get the extra year in 2025. This kid's going to miss the entirety of this season. 2025 is the final year that he's not Rule 5 eligible, so you get an additional season with him before you have to make a decision. Plus, I think the conversation on that slider and how good it could be, and already comparing it to a Ryan Kerkering slider, the stuff is there enough for me that I think that if I had to pick between one of these two guys, I would take McFarlane significantly more frequently than I picked Baker.
I mean, 56% whiff rate on that slider
it's significant.
That's a whole lot of sexy.
Yeah, not to say that at some point you have to be able to refine your command to a point. And Renee and I talked about, like, you don't even have to get to 100%. If you can get to like 40 or 50%, you're probably going to get high leverage outs at some point in Major League Baseball. I think that this guy, if I'm picking one of the two to get to that 40 or 50%, I would pick this guy over Baker.
Okay, there you have it. There's our Alex McFarlane. We'll see what happens there. Now, as we get ready to wrap up, because here we are at the top of the hour already, some quick news, and we can dive deeper into these updates in a later show, as in tomorrow or later this week. Just some updates around the league. Yes, we are still waiting on what's going to happen with some names like Blake Snell, Cody Bellinger, who knows? But some other news that has happened. The Yankees did claim lefty reliever Matt Gage. The Mets are pursuing some lefty relievers as well. One that they've been targeting is Wandy Peralta. For Toronto, they did ink a deal with Justin Turner, $13 million plus $1.5 million in bonuses for a nice one-year deal. Also for the Angels, they agreed to a one-year deal with Aaron Hicks. And the Mariners acquired Jorge Polanco from the Twins in a trade where the Mariners received Jorge and the Twins received right-handed pitcher Justin Tapa and Anthony DeSclafani and Gabriel Gonzalez, which is their number 3 prospect, and Darren Bowen, as well as some cash money.
I think it was Bowen that was the 79th ranked overall prospect in Major League Baseball. So, decent return there.
Definitely.
Did you say Justin Turner? Because that just happened right before the show.
Yes, I did.
Okay, yeah, that was the 1 year 13 Polanco, as you said. So a little bit of movement
some
around.
Shuffling.
Yeah, I mean, we are only 15 days away from pitchers and catchers reporting, so time is running out for some of these teams, and I guess names are falling from the sky.
Yeah.
Tyler, in talking with him before the show, said, man, as much as the Cubs got ripped this season or this offseason, it sure does look like they're probably just going to end up with Chapman and Bellinger after all of this is said and done.
By the way, guys, we have our answer on a particular video game cover.
Oh, yeah, it's 103.
It is 103.
This is the perks of going overtime.
But before you guys look it up,
I'm not looking it up.
What is your final guess? My final guess was Ronald Acuna Jr.
Wait, are you surprised by this?
Yes.
No.
My two guesses in my head are Acuna and Julio Rodriguez.
And we talked about Julio Rodriguez.
The Jazz Chisholm was last year, right?
Yes.
That's so weird.
If you're surprised that it's not Ronald.
So it's a very, very, very good player. Don't get me wrong. It's not Mookie Betts. I would not be surprised by Mookie Betts.
Corey Seager.
That's true.
Nope.
Maybe it's actually Corey was a good guess. I was gonna say maybe it's
Corbin Carroll.
No. And again, I don't want to make this sound
Nolan Arenado.
No.
Is it a Phillies player? Oh,
I don't want to make this sound like this guy is a bad player. He had a slight down year.
What is this? Guess that cover
last year.
Are you Googling it?
No, I'm getting ready to.
So this is someone who's never been on the cover before.
Never been on the cover.
So that rules
is
out
he a
Shohei
household
Ohtani.
name?
Yes.
Is he on
Mike's
the
been
East
the
Coast,
cover.
West Coast, or in the middle?
Much closer to
He's
the East
a
Coast.
household name. Juan Soto?
Is not Juan Soto.
Is he on
Wait, what'd you say in terms of location? I'm sorry.
East Coast?
the Adley Rutschman?
No.
He said household name.
Well, baseball
That's on
nerds.
the East Coast. What about?
It's not a Philly, right?
Each of your last two guesses are in the right division, though. So you guess Soto, Renee.
Vlad Jr.
It is Vlad Guerrero Jr.
Really?
What?
What is MLB The Show doing? Jazz Chisholm? Look, Vlad Guerrero's a very good, but he had a dip last year.
Cool factor. It's part of it.
What?
I guess.
Oh. Okay.
I would not have guessed
He's
that.
still a darn good player.
He
He just had a little bit of a step
This cover
backwards
looks.
this year. It's a bad cover.
I was gonna say it looks like a kid paint
Vladdy Jr.? Do you think they just
did they do a photo shoot? There's no photo shoot. This is not a photo shoot. This is like.
Is that the actual cover?
This can't be
MLB's Twitter page tweeted
that can't be
it out.
real. Can you? I mean, if you can possibly show it to.
I mean, it looks all right. He's hushing, rounding like third base.
What's
I
all
assume.
this color and stuff around him? Like, what are these yellow and red lines? Is this supposed to be art? I
Hang
just feel
it
like
in
it
the Louvre.
doesn't. I don't feel like it fits the vibe of past covers. I guess maybe they connected things that are important to him. There's some music in there. There's the flag. Maybe this cover is supposed to be, connected to what he values, the colors. I don't know. I wasn't expecting that, actually. I just was really locked in on it being.
Yeah, that's. I wouldn't have guessed that. I thought they would have thrown Seattle a bone since they can't get anybody to watch Julio Rodriguez is one of the game's best.
Yeah, but remember, there is a little bit of a stipulation with him because he was on the cover of EA's Top Baseball or top whatever baseball, and generally the rule is you cannot be on a cover different games within a 3-year span.
Okay, well, I mean, Vlad's got the Canadian flag with the leaf. It's got the Dominican flag. It's got the colors of the DR. I guess that's what the vibe of this is supposed to be. I know in the chat you guys were saying, Chris was saying it's abstract. It's just
There you go.
Okay.
There it
fast.
is.
I just don't. It doesn't scream video game to me. It looks like a
Yeah,
painting.
Mickey Durkin raises a fine point. Like Toronto could, if things go poorly for them to start the year, they could move on from him. Like I don't think they will, but you can't rule it out that they blow it up, especially with the Yankees, returning to Death Star form. Like, it's surprising. That's all.
So my gut reaction was like, that's not good. And then you look into what it actually, what the abstract color usage is, and its flags, and it makes
symbolism of it.
It makes a ton more. I thought it was just but I feel when you first see it, it just looks like it's paint thrown on a canvas.
But I still feel like they could have did that same colors and the flag and everything in a much more professional, like a video game look. This doesn't scream video game to me. Isn't this a video game? Because it doesn't feel like one. I don't know. All right. Well, there's that, guys. We were going to try to guess.
I mean, to be fair,
it would be on the cover, but
Jazz's cover last year
was a swing and a miss.
Kind of abstract artwork too.
Yeah, it's kind of their vibe
the
a little
pink
bit.
and purple background.
So do you have the guy who got hosed that we did some work on? What should have been the cover athlete?
Yes.
Because, once again, he's just robbed. And I don't think there's any more dominant player in the game of baseball. I mean...
How do you not put the Fanatic on?
Tell me that's not going to move product.
How do you not put the Fanatic on the cover? Look at him.
Hosed yet again.
He's actually doing the same pose as Vlad, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's a nice side profile shot. He's in motion.
He's the finest export of the Galapagos Islands.
I don't know. He's big and fluffy. How do you not? How do you not pick him? If you're gonna go with this abstract look, anyways, with color, why not go with the man that's living life in color? But last year, Jazz's was still, I don't know, it was just different. It was definitely bright and colorful too, but it was a lot more.
I think MLB is starting to try to think outside the box a little bit in terms of how they put the cover out, because for a long time it was just a player with a field background and figure it out. And even recently, I guess. Shohei Ohtani was just Shohei Ohtani in a stance and a red background, and Aaron Judge was just Aaron Judge standing there with a shadow-esque Yankee Stadium behind him. They're starting to become a little bit more marketable,
personal, and relatable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I get the sentiment behind it. It makes a ton of sense.
I agree with you on the fact that I like they added in bits of Canada and the DR. I just still feel like it could have been played off a little bit better of being, because like you mentioned, video games in general have always had that same look of just the player with a basic solid, background. So, okay, well, we are officially over the hour. We will, I guess, hold our trivia.
Yeah, let's hold the trivia.
Until tomorrow. But I will give my positivity.
All right, I was going to say, you're on the hook for positivity.
Don't you worry.
And guess that swing.
That could be held for tomorrow.
No,
we
we're
could
gonna
do
do
two
it.
tomorrow.
Nope,
you
we're
know,
gonna do it,
double
Renee.
up Wednesday.
Nope, we're gonna do it. Nope, we're gonna do it.
Okay.
All right, let's get
sourpuss.
positive. No, I'm trying to get positive. I want to hear what you got for us.
So,
All right,
I think
wait,
you
hold on.
already read
Let me
it.
get my notes.
It's in there. It's in Notion.
Oh, I didn't look at Notion. I'm keeping
Yeah,
a separate list of positivity.
Here is my
This
positivity
is number
for today.
21.
After working as interim manager in 2022 and then getting an extension this past year through 2025, this year, Rob Thompson will, not can, not should, not possibly, he will earn a new contract, a contract extension for the future. Now, the key components here. We've talked about Rob when that 1 year extension happened through 2025, that Rob, this is a prove it time for him. You know, the last 2 seasons have been great, exceeding expectations, getting to the NLCS, getting to the World Series the year before that. But this year with a win now team should be the year that Rob can tweak some of these areas that have been mistakes. We should have a better Phillies team. It should be a better overall year. I'm not even saying they have to win the World Series, although that'd be nice. Don't get me wrong. But I think this is the year that Rob Thompson absolutely needs to prove and earn his money. Get a contract past 2025 that showed, not just given to you, that shows this is the manager for the future. This is why in Rob we trust. So it's all about Topper for me. That this needs to be a big year.
So he's going to have a great managerial year.
He's going to have a great year,
All
and
right.
he's gonna earn. That's it. Not just be given because it's, oh no, we're running out of time for this 1 year. No, he's gonna earn a contract extension beyond 2025 that has us all like, all right, Rob is our guy. We're in Topper. We're following along.
In Topper we trust.
In Topper we trust. That is my positivity, which means that the team's going to look better. He's going to be managing the team better. All the pieces are going to align. The stars are going to align, and we're going to have a great year with Topper.
All right.
Earn your money.
Mopar says Topper, manager of the year.
Bam, even
and
better.
welcome in, Mopar. And everybody that's been hanging out with us, make sure you're hitting that like button when you're in here. We appreciate all of you. So I like it. Rob,
thank you.
manager of the year. All right.
I do want to say CMC.
If they win the NL East, he'll probably win manager of the year
Right.
because the Braves are perceived to be
I know
such a
we've talked
juggernaut.
about the players and the team and the schedule, but let's talk about one of the men in charge and the man in charge in terms of the team. It's Rob. CMC, I do want to give well wishes to your sister who is having a 4-hour surgery up in Boston. Hopefully that goes well and that everything, heals properly. Sending love, hugs, and all of the positive vibes your way today for you and your family. All right, guys. After having that moment of positivity, let's have a moment of failure. Mm-hmm. That's a great way to put it. It's an MOF.
Tyler, how would you rank today's difficulty?
No.
So if yesterday was like a 9.
Oh, no.
By the way, it was Frenchie, Jeff Francoeur, for those that missed it.
Is that fair? Yesterday was a 9 out of 10.
I thought that was tough because it could have been just like generic any right-handed batter.
It could have been Mike Schmidt.
So yesterday was a
doesn't even fit in
9.
the
I would
category
say
of
today
2006
is a 6.
Wait.
Okay.
So one being if you don't get this, you don't watch baseball. 10 being like this is super, super hard. Like Ryan Howard's a 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that one was a layup for you guys.
I think y'all are taking this silhouette thing pretty.
That one was, but that one,
6.
you guys crushed that one. That was a layup for you
did.
guys. So, and then a 10 being like, I'll give you kudos forever if you get this. And I think today is probably a 6 ish, maybe a 5,
gosh.
maybe a 6.
Oh no, I don't love
All
that.
right, Tyler.
All right,
Let me
all
two.
right, I will tell you this. I think the name is probably like a 4. The stance is more like a 6.
Wait, what?
The stance is going to be harder to get than the
I
name.
just need a word bank because I can't think, or name bank. I can't think of people.
Here's your
I'm gonna
player.
come up with my own name bank. Oh, okay.
Oh, wait,
I see
wait, hold on.
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
Oh, wait.
Hold on.
Uh-oh.
This might not be the right one, guys. I may have put the wrong one up.
Wait, do you have the answer for it?
We're good. That's the right one.
I like the hair.
A little bit of lettuce there in the back.
That's a hand.
Wait, what?
That's his hand.
Wow. See, this is why it's difficult. That looks like hair flowing in the wind.
All right, that's a lefty.
Mike.
I can promise
maybe
you
not.
that is his hand.
Oh my gosh. Wait, okay. I need you to clarify left or right because I can literally see it both ways.
I'm
Why am
texting
I-
you my answer.
I'm gonna call myself what is it? Dyslexic.
Dyslexic, yes.
But I'm gonna be ambidextrous, where I can see both sides.
Tyler, my answer is in.
Wait,
I don't
what?
believe we've used that guy.
Okay.
If we have, let me off the hook.
All right, Jamie's answer is in.
We have not used that guy, right?
You've not, we have not used that guy, correct?
All right. I just went with my gut. I'm not gonna.
Did we say
Wait,
it's a
Dave
lefty?
PC's a lefty? I changed to a righty. Just for transparency. I saw lefty at first, but then I switched to a righty.
Is it a lefty or a righty? I feel like you can tell us that.
It's a righty.
It's a righty, people. It's a righty. Michael Franco.
I'm just gonna, you know what? I'm gonna start just rotating the same group of names until one of them is correct.
The thing that I am focusing on is how straight up the upper torso is. That's what made me guess what I guessed.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, that's fair.
Because this guy, I think, is one of those kind of like stiff back athletes. Do you know what I mean by that?
I got you. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Like some guys are fluid and like Gumby-like.
The
and then
guy
some
you
guys,
guessed is pretty...
like Robert Covington is a stiff back athlete.
Pretty stagnant.
Yeah.
I like looking at the pants and the legs.
Well, I mean, Gene Segura's
stuff,
famous fat ass was on here, and I missed that. So
people wear and then they just, I feel like they're very distinct in how they are wearing.
Oh, yes?
Whatever helps you get an advantage. Like if it's like sock height or, you know, do they have a shield or how, you know what I mean? Like whatever helps you, use it to your advantage.
Okay. I'm gonna go, brother. Okay.
People guessing Stott, it is a right-handed batter.
That has been confirmed.
We were given that clue today.
I think that needs to be a given every day. This is really challenging to even know if they're right or left. Are they a current player or a former?
I'm not giving you that
Okay,
answer.
I figured I would try. Dang it. I don't know. You already put your person in?
So if you make a guess, Renee, and both of your answers are wrong, I will give you a follow-up hint and a second chance.
I don't like failing twice in one
That's
day.
all I'm gonna say. I'm not confirming nor
Mine's
denying
definitely
Jimmy's
gonna be
answer.
wrong.
Oh, Chris Slemmer, I could see that.
I will say this though: if you both guess the same person, you don't get a second chance. Is that fair?
I don't.
Okay.
Well,
I don't think we're going to guess the same
I
person.
don't
Okay.
think so.
Because I'm just throwing out random names.
I
at
can
this point.
see CMC's, and I could also see Chris Slemmer's. I think this one's tough. Victorino Spiral Out we already used. The Flying Hawaiian was previously used.
All right. You know, I did it. It's done.
Mopar thinks
It's
Alec
done.
Bohm.
We already did Alec Bohm, unfortunately.
All right.
I think we did,
Both
yeah.
of your answers are locked. I will tell you that both you and the chat, no one got it correct today.
Okay.
So I will give you one more hint on who this player is.
Annoying.
This player had multiple stints with the Phillies.
Oh, so that is annoying. Okay.
Multiple stints with the Phillies.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
And was
Is it who I guessed yesterday?
No. Was
What is
acquired
this?
was acquired in different ways for each of the stints.
What?
Different stints with the Phillies,
You know,
right?
these hints don't help as much as you think, but I appreciate the hint. That's helpful. Thank you, Tyler.
By the way, Christy said someone who has flow. That's a hand, guys.
Yeah, his hand looks like hair.
It does
That's
look
not
like hair.
Okay, so you still haven't
CMC,
heard.
that was my guess yesterday, Marlon Bird, and because I think he had two.
He
goes
did
with the
have
Philly.
two, yes.
Yeah. Wow, somebody from 2006 to now that had multiple stints with the Phillies.
And the annoying thing is, like, he could have been with the Phillies in 2006. Like, he was with them prior, but then was also with them after. Like, 2006 and 7.
Cesar didn't have two stints, did he?
I don't believe so.
Yeah, he was just the one. Oh, Freddie? Didn't he have two?
Freddie Galvis did have two stints with the Phillies.
It's not right.
It's not right, but he did have two stints with the Phillies.
Okay.
Damn you, Tyler.
Wait, let me try guessing.
I will give you one more hint, and if you don't get it on this one, we're just
man.
going with we're just gonna show it.
120, guys.
Aaron Rowan didn't have two stints. No.
Okay, I'm gonna text you 2 answers. They're probably both wrong.
Did he play third base?
I'm not giving you any more hints than that. I will give you one more hint, but it's not that.
What?
All right, I'll text you my last guess. It's the only other guy I can think of with multiple stints.
All right, Jamie's locked in.
Dang it, my guy is not right.
Again.
Okay. Crap.
All right, we ready to show this?
I don't even know who to guess because the multiple stints thing.
Well, my first guess
has
for the
me
record
down.
was Reese.
So your first guess was Reese. Renee, your first guess was
Nick.
Castellanos.
I could see that.
Jamie, your follow-up guess after the second hint is indeed correct.
Placido!
I almost said him. Are you freaking kidding me? Wow. Okay.
Very underrated player here.
Okay. I actually almost
Very underrated player through his career.
Yeah, for his career.
Had a really good career.
He did. I liked Placido a lot.
Yeah, so he was traded for.
I forgot.
Traded in part with the. He was the big piece in the return for Scott Rowland, and then later signed as a free agent after his stint with the
Detroit
Tigers.
Yeah,
and then was traded for a machete murderer.
Mm-hmm. Placido Polanco.
This has been fun, guys. Aren't we having fun? Yay,
We're having fun.
Yay.
I mean, we
actually
both
almost
failed.
said him.
Oh, well, go with the gut. That's why I fire right away. I try not to think too hard.
Oh, my God.
Straight shooter with upper management written all over him.
I need to do my homework. Because how many do we have left? 20-something?
Probably like
50-something?
Probably like 28 to 30.
Oh, my Lanta. What else? Who else? Okay.
Oh, there's plenty of players. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah. Placido.
All right, guys. Well, this has been fun.
By the way, what Dave just said was going to be my last hint. Always had a fat lip in.
He was like a chipmunk. His lips were always full.
Man,
Or
oh,
his
man.
cheeks, I should say.
What a time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. Well, hopefully you had fun hanging with us because we've gone over an hour 15. We have a new height in terms of a new high, I should say, for our times at 120 and counting. So let's wrap this bad boy up because, wow, we're going way off the rails and way overboard. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget, we'll be down at in Clearwater for spring training. You can join us for our PHLY road trip in March. That's a great way to spend your St. Patrick's Day and the start of spring with us down at Clearwater for spring training. So be sure to check out those details on our website.
It's on the events tab, yeah.
Correct. Follow, subscribe, join the conversation. We'll be back tomorrow actually at 11 a.m. We're bumping this bad boy up an hour. And let's see if we can get our show under an hour. We'll be starting at 11 a.m. tomorrow.
Probably not.
We won't. It'll be 65 minutes is my guess. So thanks so much for tuning in. Glad you had fun. Chris, Dave, CMC, the other Dave, Spiral Out, Mickey, Christy. We appreciate all of you. Have a great rest of your Tuesday. And we'll see you back tomorrow.
We all silly like the mayor.